Good morning. My name is Richard Stevens. I'm the Deputy Coordinator of Emergency Management for the City of Suffolk, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about hurricane preparedness and hurricane tips. Probably one of the most important preparedness tools that you can have is a preparedness kit for your personal self or your family. So your emergency preparedness kit should contain at least 1 gallon of water for up to 3 days per individual in your family. You also want to have a first aid kit in case somebody gets injured cleaning up. You want to have non-perishable food or canned good items that won't go bad if in case the electricity goes out and you lose your refrigerator. You also want to have personal information such as your insurance for your house, cars, things of that nature, bank account information, information on your doctors so that you'll have any information you may need after the storm. You also want to make sure that your medicines are full. If we're preparing for a storm and the storm might be 5 days away or 3 days away and the National Hurricane Centers ask us to start preparing, you want to make sure that your medicines are full. Your prescriptions, you want to make sure that you don't want to run out of those if you have to go to a shelter. And at the very minimum, have a list of the medications that you're taking that you can keep with you as well. And any IDs, personal IDs, passports, anything of that nature that will help you after the storm identify yourself and get the services that you need. One thing you don't want to forget about is your pet. You'll make sure you have pet supplies as well for your plan because your pets are going to need water, they're going to need food, and any medicines they may be taking as well. In case you do have to evacuate, the City of Suffolk has 3 main shelters, and those are the 3 high schools. The first one is Kings Fork High School. That's our quote-unquote medical-friendly shelter. Then we have Nansemond River High School, which is our pet shelter. If you need to take your pets when you evacuate, you can take them with you and take them to Nansemond River High School and they'll be looked after. And then our third main shelter is Lakeland High School. And the shelters would more than likely be opened in those orders as needed during an evacuation or after a storm hits. Another thing you want to make sure you have up to date is your insurance on your house. A lot of insurance policies don't cover flooding. So if you have a storm come through and your house floods and you don't have flood insurance, then you wouldn't be covered, even though your house would be damaged. Flood insurance takes 30 days for it to go into effect, so the time to start getting it is now, if you don't already have it. And that way to make sure that you're covered during a storm when it should want to come. Hurricane season is June 1st through November 30th, with our peak of hurricane season around here between the middle of August and the middle of September, with another slight peak in the middle of October. But the key point to remember is it only takes one. It doesn't matter if a hurricane hits us in June, July, September, or November. We want to be prepared. And they certainly can hit at any time, even though it's not in the peak of hurricane season. One thing that you may want to know is if you have to evacuate, Virginia has the Know Your Zone in effect now, and what that is, it's a zone based off of tidal flooding only. But if you're in a zone A, B, C, or D, and your zone A is asked to evacuate, you can simply go to zone C or D or B, whichever is best for you. You may not necessarily have to leave the area. You can go to a friend or a relative. If you want to know more about Know Your Zone, you can go to knowyourzoneva.org. You can simply type in your address and find out if you're in a zone or if you're not. If you're not in A, B, C, or D zone, then you are not in a tidal flood zone. But anywhere it rains, it can flood. So everyone could benefit from having flood insurance. For more information, once again, you can go to knowyourzoneva.org, or you can go to the Virginia Department of Emergency Management website for more hurricane preparedness tips. Thank you.